I was scrolling through TikTok this morning when I saw a video of Pastor Jerry Eze singing this song.
I'm acknowledging you for who you are, for what you've done in my life. Sorry.
And while I was singing along with him, one question dropped in my heart. Where is Lara George? As I began pondering on that question, I decided to do a little research on her. And in this video, I'll share all you need to know about Lara George, beginning with the first question you may have in your heart. Who is Lara George? Her full name is Lara George. She is the fourth child of 5 children born to Mr. and Mrs. Oluwole Bajomo on the 23rd of June 1978 in Lagos State, Nigeria. Lara George, as she's popularly called, grew up in Yaba, Lagos, and attended University of Lagos Staff School for her primary education before proceeding to Queen's College, Lagos for her secondary education. From there, she went on to the University of Lagos, where she bagged both a bachelor's and a master's degree in architecture. Long before she began studying architecture, music already found her. She was just a little girl when she started singing gospel songs with her sister at home. By the time she got to the university, her voice had followed her into the campus fellowship choir, and it was here that something bigger began. On campus, she linked up with 3 other students, Dapo, T.Y. Bello, and MM, and together they formed a musical group called KUSH. KUSH was made up of 3 girls and 1 boy, and it all started in 1998. They were so good, really good, that the record label from the United States of America signed them up almost immediately. KUSH went on to produce massive hits for a while. They were unstoppable. But behind the scenes, something wasn't working. Some of the members couldn't fully dedicate themselves to the group. This became a consistent issue as some persons were working way more than others until one day they called a meeting, and in 2002, KUSH was no more. For Lara George, the breakup was devastating. She was so shattered by it that she stepped away from music entirely for a while. But music was her passion and she missed it so much. But she couldn't pick herself up to get back into the game. She met Mr. Gbenga, who later became her husband. Lara said when she first met her husband in church, she didn't like him at all. But they later found themselves working together as co-workers at the same real estate firm, and that's where they became friends. She enjoyed his company because he made her laugh all the time. She admired the way he handled serious issues with a smile on his face and began liking him because he had foresight. He didn't just talk, he got things done. Even though he was not romantic, she knew she would be fine if she spent her life with a man like him. They dated for 2 years and then he proposed. They got married on the 4th of September 2004. Their union is blessed with a boy and a girl. Lara said her husband has always encouraged her to go back to music since it was her passion. And once she decided to make a comeback, her husband made it his life's mission to help her succeed. Mr. Gbenga George had experience in both law and music, so he began managing the stressful legal and business side of things while she focused on creating and singing powerful hit songs. She released her first solo album titled Forever in My Heart, and almost immediately, one song off that album exploded. The song was titled Ijoba Orun. She followed it up with more hit songs like Hallelujah and Baje and lots more. By 2010, Lara George had found massive success all over again, this time on her own name. But Lara George and her husband did not stop there. They noticed a huge problem in the Nigerian entertainment industry. There was no proper way to get authentic CDs to fans without them being pirated within days. So together, they founded a company called Sofort Entertainment. The company partnered with major food chains like Mr. Biggs, Sweet Sensation, and others, and eventually opened up over 250 branches across Nigeria where fans could access authentic, licensed musical CDs easily. In no time, she began winning several awards and became a respected voice in the gospel music industry in Nigeria, even sitting as a judge on major musical platforms. And in 2024, she reached a career milestone that very few African gospel artists has ever touched. She was invited as a voting member of the Recording Academy, which is the organization behind the Grammy Awards. Through it all, her music kept returning to one place: prayer. A lot of her songs came straight from her personal prayer life, and in almost every album, you'll find at least one song about social justice because she's kind of a freedom fighter and she uses her music to do just that. Which now brings us back to the question that prompted this video: where is Lara George? A few years ago, Lara George and her husband relocated to the state of Georgia in the United States of America. She was granted a visa reserved for individuals with extraordinary ability in their field. Today, she lives a full, quiet life in the US. Her songs are still being streamed globally and still being sung in churches. So there you have it, my loves. Lara George is still in the game, just that she changed her address. My name is Charity Lawrence. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all in my next video. Until then,